Since 2009, 3 million people have been deported from the United States. A majority of them are not criminals and have never been convicted of a crime. Currently, there are at least 30,000 immigrants in detention facilities across the country every day.
Haitian survivors from the earthquake were supposed to be brought to the United States for medical treatment and sort. So they just experienced one of the worst natural disasters to happen, not only in the country but in the world, and now they're languishing in detention centers.
The Marine Fleet brought 65 Haitian earthquake survivors to the United States for medical treatment. Because they arrived without any documents, they were immediately placed in immigration and customs enforcement detention centers around the country. After weeks of detention, some were released only after signing an order of removal, agreeing to be deported in the future.
In 1995, there was a terrorist attack in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The United States government and many people assumed that it was someone from the Middle East, some person of color, some terrorist that had done this bomb attack on U.S. soil. And upon later investigation, it found out to be that it was actually a white U.S. American citizen, Timothy McVeigh, who had caused this terrorist attack. And even though they had found out that wasn't an immigrant, the Clinton administration, they still proceeded to enact the 1996 laws, which have changed the way that we look at detention, deportation, and immigration.
This replaced a discretionary system with mandatory detention and deportation, and expanded the grounds of deportation to include most offenses, including minor crimes. On April 23, 2010, Governor Jan Brewer of Arizona signed into law Senate Bill SB 1070, a controversial bill giving police officers the authority to stop, detain, and arrest anyone they have reasonable suspicion to believe is an illegal alien. Many believe this law violates civil rights and encourages racial profiling.
That means somebody who looks like me, somebody who's brown, somebody who may have an accent. Even though Latino communities, in particular Mexican communities, have been in Arizona even before Arizona was a state. It's wrong on constitutional grounds, it's wrong on moral grounds, it's wrong on ethical grounds. It's wrong all around.
How are they gonna teach cops to not be racist? It's not something that you can just train somebody to pick out immigrants. That's ridiculous.
These laws and their negative impact on immigrants and communities of color galvanized wide-scale protests across the country and put spotlight on the growing need for humane, just, and comprehensive immigration reform.
We are not just 1 or 10 or 100 or 1,000 people. We are a million people. And we want you to ask the question why. And if you seek the answers to those questions, you will find U.S. complicity in destabilizing our countries politically. And you will find U.S. complicity in dismantling our social safety net, while human services get sold to multinationals. And you will find U.S. complicity in completely exploiting our natural resources. So that's why we are here, because we want a shot at the future. So please, please, reform immigration now in a way that is humane, in a way that reflects who we are as immigrants, people, first and foremost.
It's not going to stop with minorities. This country is actually enacting or putting into practice measures or acts that clearly are violating people's right to free speech, to liberty. It's really a slippery slope with respect to what's happening with immigration detention. And this law that was passed in Arizona is only the beginning. Eventually, people will be accosted, detained, potentially even deported. And they're already being deported for looking the wrong way. I've actually met numerous people who are United States citizens in immigration detention. It's only a matter of time before everyone is directly affected or affected by it in some way, in a way that they did not expect. Today I am wearing a poncho that was actually made in Mexico. This is in support and in solidarity with the people in Arizona who are being subjected to an unjust law.
Hi.
How you doing? It's a lovely spring day.
There are tens of thousands of people marching in Washington, D.C. for a just and humane immigration reform. And I want to say to everybody inside, to our brothers and sisters, that we stand for detainees' rights, we stand for your civil rights, we stand for your labor rights, and we stand for your human rights. It is not just about immigration rights, it's about getting rid of racial profiling, it's getting rid of police brutality, and it's about building a society that cares about people's needs and not the warehousing of young people of color in institutions such as South Bay.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that we expose as much as quickly as possible with respect to what's happening in Arizona. So to everyone in Arizona, we're with you, and we are not going to forget about you. This issue is not going away.